We're going to go to our favorite news or no news. And so that we can get this all chopped up beautifully and ready. Tatis is injured again. Now, I know what you're going to say. Definitely signed the contract in the right way. But is this cause for pause, and are we alarmed if we're San Diego ownership?
For sure. You're committed to somebody for 12 years. Well, no, 14 years, right? I think it is 14 years.
Forever, bro.
Basically, it says the contract is up. I mean, he's up, but it sucks for him. It sucks for the organization. And I get, like, again, hindsight is 2020. It looks like he made the right decision to sign a big deal. You know, like it looks like it. Right? Yeah, so it's definitely news. I agree, it's news. Definitely news. It looks like he made the right decision to sign, but hindsight could be 2020. What if he bowled out this year? Could have got $500 million. Like it just happens. It just happens. Yeah, shit luck.
I say it's definitely news. My argument for this is like, damn, bro. I hope you're not made out of glass, my man. Now, granted, left arm injury. Oh,
non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah, so that's okay, right? I mean, I think after the season, you could probably get surgery. I also think this. I don't know how many San Diego Padre games you watch, and I love his tenacity, but at times I wonder if he's doing too much. Like the other day, a couple of games ago when we first opened, he's running into the left fielder, and the left fielder pretty much had the ball. Like, I'm like, bro, I get that you're a phenom, but like you can't catch all the passes here, bro. Like, let your infield do what they're supposed to do. Like, he wants to play short and wants to play second and wants to play third base and wants to play outfield. I'm like, bro, you're the shortstop. You're already doing enough. Like,
but I guess that's what makes it him. You understand what I'm saying?
I get that. But he also almost breaks his legs sliding into second base, stealing, last year or 2 years ago. So I'm just nervous. I wonder if his camp should tell him to, like, I know he wants to play at 1,000, but maybe play at like 980 or something like that. So you can like not get too crazy. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. So this is another argument that seems to be coming up a lot on social. I spend like too much time on social media looking for news. Are super teams making the NBA boring, bro?
No news.
No news. Okay.
Because
you could give the chip to the Nets right now.
All these players, for sure. But all these players that people were complaining about are all washed up past their prime. Who you were talking shit about them when they were on the old team.
Right.
So don't start stroking them when they're on a team that's actually going to be contending. You know,
that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that.
People were talking shit about Rondo going to the Clippers because Rondo was averaging 4 points and 2 assists and like 1 rebound. People took a shit about Blake Griffin, saying he hasn't dunked in 2 years. People took a shit that LaMarcus Aldridge can't play no more. He's trash. Like, the only person who signs that team that can play, who got hurt in the first fucking night, was Andre Drummond. But stop complaining about teams being super teams, but you calling the guys who sign and get bought out of contracts washed up. The reason why they're getting bought out of contracts is because the organization doesn't want them anymore. So what do you want them to do? So if a guy who has already been in the league for 8 years, 9 years, already made $100 million, $150 million, you want him to go where? Where do you want him to go? It's not. He has the opportunity to go wherever he wants right now.
And maybe win a ring.
Exactly. And which the Nets look like they are going to do. Right. I don't see anybody being the Nets.
No, I agree with that.
I think it's Clippers-Nets finals.
Really? Okay, that's fair. I gotta start watching some more Clipper basketball, but the Nets are just on another level. But yeah, I think maybe there's I would say news only because the fans, gear how the eyeballs are being watched, and I also think it's news because potentially maybe moving forward, washed up players won't be on super teams. And it's funny when we talk about the super team argument, right? So first super team was in the Celtics. Everybody thought KG was done, and everybody thought Ray Allen was done, and that wasn't the case.
Exactly.
Putting them with Paul Pierce, they came through. Okay, LeBron, super team, Miami. No one really thought Dwayne Wade had anything left in the tank, right? And the same thing for Chris Bosh.
By the time D Wade was still a top 5 player in the NBA.
I get you, but he was kind of on the down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was just doing too much. Remember, he was getting injured a lot. He was the sole.
80% of D Wade is still better than 90% of anybody else.
I got you. But what I'm saying is when we really look through a microscopic lens, these super teams are not the super teams like you're saying, right? Like, okay, now the Nets, again, to bring Durant in it, Durant hasn't been 100% the last few years. He seems like he would be better served as an amazing off the bench player. Not trying to knock his skills or anything like that, but homeboy has a problem staying healthy, right? You brought up, Andre Jordan kind of washed
Jordan
up.
is done. Yeah, he's not even playing now. The coaches did not play. He's not even coming off the bench now.
Right. And then now when you look at some of these other guys, Paul George, maybe, but Paul George after the broken leg hasn't been the same Paul George prior to it. So I just think that we're looking at this again through, like you were saying, the wrong lens.
Everybody's looking at names. Yeah, they're just looking at names.
They're looking at the jerseys, and they still think it's jersey of year 1, not of year 9.
Yep.
More interesting news. I really know what to say to this. So news or no news, Josh Whedon's Justice League drama now resurfaces with Gal Gadot. You want me to elaborate more? So homeboy, I can tell them by the faces. So apparently he wanted, I guess, her to be more of like a badasser kind of character, and not so much like as loving as she kind of wants to come off. I don't know what that means. And so he threatened her career. But this is also off of the piggy bank of Ray Fisher saying that the production was toxic too. I'm just asking, news or no news, the fact that Whedon threatened to end Gadot's career.
To be honest, it's only news because I'm like, who the fuck is Whedon? Like.
So let's put some context to Whedon. Whedon is the writer and director of Buffy the Vampire Slayer on TV, which was a potentially amazing show to some people. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't that great. And then made the first Avengers. And I think the second. And then got kicked off, went to DC and does a terrible Justice League movie.
Yeah, like...
He also wrote Aliens 4. I mean, I don't know how much of his resume I got in my brain, but I think that was a lot. Right.
Yeah.
So no news. Yeah, I didn't think it was news either, but what I find interesting now, because you took it out of my notes last week, but motherfuckers right now are just leaky faucets. Like, I was going to call her Kim Cattrall, but she's not. Sharon Stone comes out and starts talking about the producers and everything, saying that they told her to remove her panties for the Basic Instinct scene. They told her to have sex with her co-stars. So I just find it news that a lot more of this stuff is surfacing, but maybe it's not. I mean, I guess it is news. For me, I'm not an actor or an actress, so I don't really care too much, right?
Definitely. Now,
okay. Go ahead. What do you got?
News or no news? Alvin Kamara hasn't spent a dime of his money.
Total news. I think it's big news. I think he should be talking to more NFL players because most of them are broke by the time they get out. And what's another alarming stat about it is that running backs have the shortest lifespan in the NFL. Yep. So if anything, it behooves you to stack your chips. Now, I would love to know, I mean, has he signed the big contract or is he playing still his rookie contract?
No, he signed a big contract this past year.
Okay, so he's probably making $10 million a year. He seems like he's not slowing down. Mm-hmm. He really hasn't had a catastrophic injury as of this point. He's extremely dynamic. I just think that we should hear more stories like this. Just because a lot of guys, all they do is bowl their money out.
I know. And I'm surprised. Gronk is another guy who he hasn't spent a dime of his NFL money.
So what I want to know is if you don't spend a dime of your money, right?
On endorsements.
Got you. That makes sense.
All them endorsements. All the
I was like, how you get paid?
All those, and then like if you're getting let's say you get a $50,000 payment to go to a club, Alvin Kamara's hosting. You can pay $50K. They fly you out. They pay for your hotel. They pay for all that shit to have you go out there.
Yeah, Gronk must be rich then, because that motherfucker was at the club all the time.
Exactly, and then for sure, hey, Gronk is coming 100,000 an event. 150,000.
Right.
And that's how that
he's
goes.
Probably selling tables over there. Like if you want to be in Gronk's section, that's $50K. He probably gets a piece of the bar, or maybe the door, or however that's broken down.
That's how it is.
What do you think? I would say news. What do you think for the situation?
I think it's news just because it should show other athletes coming up that you can do better with your job. Do better at your job. Do better with your money. I always thought, like, if I was an agent, a sports agent, I would have a dope ass financial advisor with a dope ass resume to come to these guys. So say, listen, you're about to get drafted to the NBA, NFL, MLB. Here's my financial advisor. I highly recommend this person. Look at his track record. Look at the athletes this guy works with. Look at how much money these athletes are making post their career. and even during their career. You know, set yourself up while you're doing it. Even like look at LeBron. LeBron has built an empire while playing the game, which most athletes don't do. Build empires while they're playing. They normally build it after they're playing. And KD's kind of doing the same thing too. He has his media company. He's doing it while he's playing as well. I think Andre Iguodala has a lot of money in the tech space. He's doing it while he's playing. So you have a lot of these athletes who are kind of doing it while they're playing. But a lot of these up and coming guys, they should, keep an eye on that. Keep, investing in real estate, investing in their money in, long term assets instead of going to get the new Gucci bag or the new Louis bag or the new Lambo or whatever, or the next $700,000 chain. But don't worry about shit like that.
No, I agree. I think that's really good. What else we got? I know it's kind of a little weak sauce, so I can't.
News or no news, you have the billionaires. What's that about?
Right. All right. So I just put it on the list because Kim K is a billionaire.
Okay.
I didn't see Yeezy was on it, but she's ranked 247 on the list with just a bill. I thought her sister was a billionaire too, but I just wanted to throw out some of the rankings. I think Bezos being a billionaire is no news. Elon Musk being a billionaire is no news. I think who else I put on there? What's my man's name?
Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett.
Zuck is 5 and Buffett is 6. I think that's news for those guys. I think Kim K, probably not news too.
Yeah, no news. She's not important. Right? She's not important at all.
But it's impressive to think about what someone has been able to do with a TV show, a clothing line, a sex tape, and all the stuff to get to a billionaire. But speaking of billionaires, did you see the Catch Me Outside girl just got I don't know.
She got $1 million in 6 hours from her OnlyFans.
Bro, are we missing the mark here? Do we need an OnlyFans page? You know what I mean?
So my girl, get on it.
No, but I told her she ain't listening to me, man. I'm like, look, put on a mask. We'll get you a shirt on. We'll cover up all the tats. Bro, I would take a third of $1 million, bro.
Word. Definitely. All right.